Let me testify. When's that happening? I've watched Feinstein, Senator Warner, Senator Franken.
Right, but now you have
who was not funny. As a
now you have a which is a problem. You're saying where's the proof, and then you're saying let the process play out.
Well, yes, by letting us testify openly. Let's have total transparency here. I'm ready. Let's go. I'm not asking for immunity. Don't need a subpoena. Tomorrow would be soon enough.
That was President Trump's longtime ally, Roger Stone. That was back in May, sounding like a boxer who wants to get ready to get into the ring, and oh, is he ready. He has now confirmed that he is going to testify before the House in the Russia investigation a little later this month. What does that tell us about where the investigation is headed there? The panel is back with me. Mike, we've got two interviews. Behind closed doors, we're not going to know about it because nobody's talking about it until they do. Stand by. But you have John Podesta, who's interviewed by the House, and then you have Roger Stone coming up next. What is it? Does that tell us anything about where this is headed, do you think?
It just shows you what a comedy this entire thing is. I mean, I think Roger Stone is desperate for a show, which is why
the Democrats signed on to him being witness.
They did, well, because I think at the end of the day, if you can actually press it. Now, Roger Stone is slick, and I have every expectation he'll be able to get through this thing without actually getting into trouble like he has for the last 4 decades. But I think that, you know, Roger Stone wants it public because Roger Stone likes to put on a show, and it sort of goes to who he is as a person and his character, et cetera. I think the Democrats want to have an interview with him because I think that they might be able to tease something out. Though if they accomplish that, it'll be something no one else has been able to do for years.
So I spoke to a Democrat, Mike Quigley. He's on the committee today, and he said,
the interview.
Yeah, and he said why is it behind closed doors? He says he couldn't say. He says it's actually a bipartisan. He was not going to throw any Republican under the bus on why it was all behind closed doors. Do you see a need for these interviews to be behind closed doors?
You know, the basic point, really, Kate, is that I don't think, and in fact, many Democrats have said that, their constituents don't really care. I think one reason they're going behind closed doors is just because at some point, I think they know this is devolving into something of a farce. Nothing has come of this. The public wants them to move on. You've got, you know, Robert Mueller doing,
right? I mean,
well, you've got Robert Mueller doing a serious investigation to the extent that people want that.
But Republicans want to investigate it too.
I think they'd all be well served. I think Roger Stone is going to reveal what he said he would, which is that there's no evidence of collusion, and certainly he has none to offer. And they should move on with just what we were talking about: health care, tax reform, putting Americans back to work. Nobody cares about Russia anymore,
except for the president keeps tweeting about it. Let's turn over to Annie tweets about fake news. Segue. The president spent another morning calling out the media and various outlets on Twitter. And I'm always bad at this. Is this the definition of irony? You tell me. The Washington Post reporting that there are at least, I think it's now up to 7 Trump properties that have hanging on their walls framed versions of a Time magazine cover. I think we have a split screen of it. Kate Winslet was actually on the cover, but it has done, yeah, the left side of your screen is the actual cover. That is, on the right side of your screen is what is hanging on 7 properties on their walls. Fake Time magazine cover. I mean, is that irony?
I mean, it's certainly irony in that, you know, he has waged this war on the media and created this phrase, fake news, to try and discredit reporting that he does not agree with or that he does not like. This is not a story that I think really resonates with voters. I think this offers more of an insight into Trump himself. We already know that he is very self-centered and that he seeks gratification. And this is sort of a testament to the very Trumpian orbit that he operates in.
On one property I get. Like, it's a joke, but like...
I think it says more about the relationship the media has with Donald Trump and Donald Trump has with the media. It's this old dysfunctional...
They're just obsessed.
Look, he's a creation of the media.
Looked like when you were in high
He's a creation of the media of 30 years of being in the spotlight. He put himself there. He knows how to work the media.
Exactly.
He needs the media as much as the media needs him.
Yeah.
Everyone's making money off of Donald Trump. Let's not forget.
Right.
They feign this distaste for him, but it's a well-known open secret that
I
they
got
like
the
it.
same thing done at the county fair and TV magazine in 1990.
I have a glamour shot. It's in my...
He has
the president of the
bravado
United
and a
States.
sense of humor. You know, I mean,
A sense of-
properties.
This is not a sense of humor.
Okay,
This is a-
okay, but
yeah.
if we want to talk,
This is a neuroses.
what's fake and significant? Elizabeth Warren claiming she's charity.
Elizabeth Warren doesn't have a fake Time magazine at his golf club.
Stuff right now. We gotta go. All right,
you know.
it's day 160 of President Trump's administration. I've lost control. That's the state of America tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow, everybody.